Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Monday, June 17. Starting July 1, Jamaicans will be able to travel to Ghana without a visa. That's one of the outcomes of a two-day working visit by Ghanaian President Nana Akufo-Addo on the weekend. During a press briefing with Prime Minister Andrew Holness, the Ghanaian leader also announced that the Ghana-Jamaica Joint Commission for Cooperation that has been dormant for some time is going to be reactivated.
Hopefully this year, if not, as early as possible in the first quarter of next year, so that the various areas of engagement that we're talking about can be properly structured within a legal framework for the doing of business between our two countries.
Our discussions also focused on important bilateral matters, and in particular, measures to improve trade and investments and the movement of people, goods and services between our two countries.
President Akufo-Addo's two-day working visit to the island forms part of a Caribbean tour to promote the Year of Return Ghana 2019. The year-long festivities in Ghana marks 400 years since the first enslaved Africans arrived in Jamestown, Virginia, in the United States. Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith is assuring members of the Jamaican diaspora that government is deeply committed to addressing issues faced in the different regions. She says these include matters of migration in Canada, the Windrush Crisis and Compensation Scheme in the United Kingdom, and immigration reform in the United States.
These will be addressed in a focused way in the diaspora location roundtable meetings.
Minister Johnson-Smith was addressing the opening ceremony for the 8th Biennial Jamaica Diaspora Conference on Sunday. The plenary sessions got off to a start today at the Jamaica Conference Center and will end on June 19. The conference is being held under the theme Jamaica and the Diaspora, Building Pathways for Sustainable Development. The Maritime Authority of Jamaica, MAJ, is in the process of refurbishing an old Jamaica Defense Force coastal vessel and equipping it with hydrographic equipment. Minister of Transport and Mining Robert Montego says this will allow the MAJ to constantly map the island's harbors, channels, and sea routes and produce up-to-date maps and charts. In the meantime, he says work is progressing on the Maritime Environment Bill, which will address pollution of the marine environment by ships.
The Maritime Environmental Act is in process and should soon get to Parliament.
Minister Montego was speaking recently at a post-sectoral press briefing. Meanwhile, 5,000 to 8,000 Jamaicans could soon be given the opportunity to find employment in the maritime industry. The Transport Minister says this will be facilitated through the Marine Labor Convention Act, which is to be laid in the House of Representatives in the coming months.
The passage of this act, Mr. Speaker, will create more opportunities for Jamaicans to work on cruise and merchant ships. Although we have signed the Maritime Labor Convention, we must pass it into our local laws.
During his sectoral presentation, Minister Montego also disclosed that people have already started training in ship safety through the Caribbean Maritime University, and shipping companies have been engaged. He says this is important as approximately 70% of the world's cruise business is Caribbean-based, but only 35% of the workers are from the region. The Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation, KSAMC, is to convene a special sitting in honor of former Prime Minister Edward Seaga tomorrow. Deputy Mayor of Kingston, Councillor Winston Ennis, says it is fitting for the corporation to host such an event as Mr. Seaga contributed much to the development of the capital.
He was an excellent Prime Minister, one of our icons. He led Jamaica well. He is one of those persons who you can think of when you call Jamaica name. Mr. Seaga names comes up.
Mr. Ennis was speaking with JIS News recently at National Heroes Park as the KSAMC led the process of preparing the burial site for the former statesman. On June 19, a joint sitting of the Houses of Parliament will be convened to pay tribute to Mr. Seaga. Family, friends, and former colleagues at the Jamaica Information Service came together on Saturday to celebrate the life of late veteran photojournalist Errol Harvey. Errol died on May 26 this year, and his Thanksgiving service was held at the Church of St. Margaret's on Old Hope Road. In their remembrance, his daughters remarked that Errol spent over 30 years documenting and telling stories of Jamaicans through the lens of his camera, which he picked up after working with medical photographers at the University of the West Indies, before moving on to the film unit on Hanover Street. He spent most of his professional career at the Jamaica Information Service, which he joined in 1965 and remained until his retirement in May 1994. Harvey was appointed JIS's chief photographer in 1990. His work at the agency won him many awards, most notable the Order of Distinction in 1998. The Press Association of Jamaica also honored him by establishing the Errol Harvey Award for Human Interest Photography. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.